hello, hello. Hold on. I'm fixing things. All right, it's laundry day, so ignore the mess in the back. But I wanted to get on here and do your blood moon lunar eclipse forecast before the weekend gets away from me. And happy Friday to all of you. Um, let's get right to it. And let me just make sure I'm, hold on. Make sure, okay, looks like we're good. So this is the free version. If you join Patreon, you'll get everything, scopes, lucky biorhythm days of the world, things like that. But this is the free one. And we are going to be having a harvest blood moon lunar eclipse in Pisces this Sunday, September 7th. And it starts about 2:09 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Now, the brightness of this moon throughout history has helped farmers harvest into the sunset hours. The equinox season is about 2 weeks away and will be filled with not only a new season, but a solar eclipse new moon too. That's coming up on the 21st, just so you know. We all need to evaluate the past season and be proud of our accomplishments as this wheel turns once again. Now, the eclipse will begin at 11:28 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, and this eclipse will not be visible from the North American hemisphere, including the United States. The full moon will have already set by the time the eclipse begins. Now, it will be visible in parts of Australia, India, Southern Africa, South Africa, and even parts of like the Middle East. And what is a blood moon exactly? I've had a lot of people ask me this. What is a blood moon? Well, I let Google explain it. And so what Google says is a blood moon brings a dramatic reddish glow of the moon during the total lunar eclipse, the phenomena that occurs when the earth, the sun, and the moon align so that the moon passes completely into Earth's shadows or shadow. The reddish color comes from the sunlight scattering through Earth's atmosphere, allowing only longer reddish wavelengths to pass through and illuminate the lunar surface, similar to the colors of perpetual sunlight or sunset, of a perpetual sunset. That was from a Google search, so not my words, but I think Google did a pretty good job. Now, the Pisces lunar eclipse is karmic. The two planets that are karmic, Saturn and Neptune, meaning the two zodiac signs that are the most karmic, Pisces and Capricorn. And it's going to be all about mystery, intention, emotion, spiritual connections, dreams, heightened or higher spirituality. I know I said that once, but spiritual connections and spirituality to me are two different things. And psychic awareness. On its negative side, though, this is where water issues come into place. Flooding, oil, Middle East issues, religion, addiction, drugs, alcohol, and depression. It also represents illusions and delusions. And this is where the soul must do some serious grounding and protection, especially if one is very sensitive to the spirit world or has a very strong Neptunian energy within their own star chart. Okay. Or Pisces placements within their chart, Neptune and Pisces. Now the energies will be stronger than usual, and this moon will last over a year. You will feel this energy next year as well, just in time for another partial lunar eclipse on August 28th, 2006, to bring things full circle. Now, the dreamy, artistic, and musical side of Pisces will be present with lucid dreams, music, prayers, the arts, books, clairvoyance, divination, higher consciousness, swimming to the light. It's psychic energy. It's the 12th house of the deep subconscious mind. It's also divine wisdom. It is best to drink herbal teas, eat fresh whole foods, meditate, exercise, and stay as grounded as possible is advised under this elusive moon. However, this is also where danger can lie, as we tend to see things through rose-colored glasses on and have illusions and delusions about things and people or even situations. Souls with a strong Neptunian energy or a misguided direction can fall into a state of despair, regret, depression, and even addictions. Middle East issues, hold on, hospitals, jails, or prisons come to light. When I think I just skipped a whole line here. Misguided during can fall into the state of despair, regret, even okay. Pisces is Neptunian energy, and it's about religion and the church and drugs, oil, alcohol, addictions, Middle East issues, hospitals, jails, and prisons. It's water energy, so therefore rules water, floods, tsunamis, um, and all about staying high enough or in a dream state to forget the cold, harsh realities of life. Um, where am I? Escapism is very common now, and some will simply want to, bury their heads in the sand. Those are the rose-colored glasses on once again, rather than deal with the issue or matter at hand. A more cosmically conscious individual will use this energy to tap into their deep subconscious mind through meditation, divination, even lucid dreams, and seek deeper spirituality and consciousness too. Now, like I said earlier, souls born with a strong Neptune energy will feel this eclipse strongly, and all water signs too. However, it will be those souls that are born with the sun, the moon, the ascendant, or dragon's head and tail, hidden too in Pisces, that will feel it the most. And I highly advise you that if you have any of these placements, to be careful around water. Avoid any legal or illegal substances and alcohol too, because this will make your vision blurred and depression can set in. It isn't just any lunar eclipse, but one that coincides with the universal dragon's head in Pisces. So it's going to bring some intense energy. We could even hear about suicides and overdoses with this energy as well. Now, Mercury enters Virgo on September 2nd, so I'll let you go to Patreon to read all of that. Venus enters Virgo on the 19th of September. And Venus in Virgo, this is a highly critical placement that will focus on their health, the habits, and yours too. They will be particular about what they eat, where, and how they or you carry yourself. This placement usually hates cigarette smoke, and you better exercise and stay fit if you have a Venus in Virgo soul in your love life. Love actually becomes intellectual and practical, or critical and sarcastic. They are hardworking with this placement, and they have very high standards when it comes to affairs of the heart. The downfall could be that being overly critical, and some will make lovers leave, and many Virgos will find themselves alone. Remember, Virgo, nobody's perfect, not even you. So yeah, unfortunately, a lot of Virgos find themselves alone because of their critical nature. Now, Pisces, I always incorporate the horoscope for the governing sign of the lunatation, and it's Pisces. So this full moon eclipse is right on you, Pisces. This hits your first house, your soul's purpose in life, its first impressions, appearances, and how the public sees you. This is not a subtle transit, it's an amplified one, emotional, karmic. Um, and potentially life altering experiences can happen. This the energy of this eclipse is all about a culmination, a release, and a major turning point in your life. Do not drink or take drugs during this full moon eclipse phase, as the universal dragon is right on you, making you more prone to escapism, poor judgment, and even illusions. Excuse me. Now, it is a time for a major ending and a closure that allows you to step into a new, more authentic version of yourself. A chapter is closing, and you are being asked to shed an old role, identity, or way of being that no longer serves you or your greater good. Now, this energy can be very deceptive, or it can bring amazing psychic visions and lucid dreams. It just depends. If you do drugs and get drunk all the time, it's going to be deceptive. But if you meditate and drink lots of water and herbal teas, of course, you're going to tap into those amazing psychic visions and the deep downloads. You know, it's funny. I saw somebody on Witch Talk on TikTok talking about, I hate people that say you could get deep downloads. You know, you're not a computer, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, that's not entirely true. Our brain is like a computer in some ways. And we do get downloads during dream time. I'm not going to drop the name of the creator, but there's a couple of issues I have with this creator. One of them yesterday, she posted about somebody on Witch Talk who was murdered back in July by her ex-husband or boyfriend. And someone was saying, well, she was a psychic medium. Didn't she know she was going to die? And the lady was talking about how nobody knows when they're going to die. Blah, 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 blah. Did Nostradamus know when he was going to die? Actually, Nostradamus did know when he was going to die. If you've read enough literature, the prophecies and other stuff, you know that the night before he died, he gave strict orders to his, I don't know if it was his house caretaker of the home who was helping him, but he paid him, and he did this and that, and just said, I'm taking care of this because I don't think I'm going to be here in the morning. And he was right. So he knew. But some of the information you get on TikTok, please question everything. Okay? Because there are content creators out there with 100,000 plus followers, and they don't really know shit from honey in some ways. I said what I said. Like I said, this energy can be deceptive or psychic visions, but there is an emotional and spiritual rebirth ahead for many of us. Many Pisces souls could feel a heightened sense of intuition, clairvoyance, as well as an intensity in our emotions. And this will go from all water signs as well. This is a chance to release old emotional baggage, fears, phobias, and patterns of self-sabotage. You can now release the patterns that have been holding you back, and it can be a powerful time for healing too. Water can be the key to regenerating with the release of those old emotional habits. This brings about a more direct and positive impact on your physical well-being and deep introspect as well. The energy can be overwhelming, so it's crucial to give yourself space to process your feelings. Journaling, meditation, and spending time alone in nature can be incredibly helpful. Drinking lots of water and getting a lot of rest is the key, so hang in there. And that was for Pisces forecast, okay? Just so we're clear. All right, moving on. Now, this isn't going to be an easy lunar eclipse. Pisces is elusive and karmic and can bring on confusion, disorientation, illusions, and delusions. We will see headlines with more Middle East issues, drug overdoses, suicides, insanity, drunk driving, religion, churches, mosques, synagogues, water events, oil, floods, boating, and oceanic issues. And of course, once again, the key word, deception. In the negative, a Pisces lunar eclipse is deception. In the negative, it's deception. And in the positive, it's higher consciousness. Now, the first week of September brings a Uranic phase, but the next 2 weeks in general will be intense. Uranic phases bring shocking news, and I already see it with the survivors of the Jeffrey Epstein interview coming out and telling their side of the story. The USA receives this eclipse on their ninth house, and this is of knowledge, higher knowledge, laws, courts, foreigners, and foreign lands. Now, I hate to say this, and it's the 5th, so I can't give you all the dates for the Uranic phase, but this is the same lunar energy that brought about 9/11. And let's face it, the world at large hates us. But your media will host a very different narrative, and they themselves are filled with delusions and unfactual news. I don't even watch mainstream media news anymore because it's just filled with bullshit. You're not getting the news. You're not getting the real news. It's going to be a very long couple of weeks. And this eclipse does hit Donnie's, or Don the Con, some of you call him, 10th house of career. So I would highly suggest you get your popcorn out, kids, for this one, because when an eclipse hits one of your houses, in this case, Donald Trump's 10th house, this is a death of something and a rebirth, okay? This is in his career. This is in his 10th house of career, public standing, public image, success, goals, achievements, okay? So just watch the news. Now, the next energy that hits is a moonic phase energy, and it's taking place around September 14th. This will bring major flooding, typhoons, tsunamis, and earth changes like earthquakes, and also a forced relocation for some. Unfortunately, was that the same energy? Do I have my moon book with me? No, that's not the same. I thought the Texas floods on July 4th were moonic, but I believe it was a plutonic phase. So it's not the same energy. Still very watery, though. This energy will be more challenging and emotional than usual, and it'll be filled with deep depression. So you're going to need to beware of deceiving news and do not feed into the illusions of grandeur or Neptune's depressing nature. Now, the more positive side of this lunatation will be the use our heightened intuitiveness, deeper spirituality, meditation, and prayer, and focus on self-care. Is great for ancestral work and keeping the mind active, busy, and positive. Music, art, and books are Pisces ruled. So make these next few weeks a time to read, dance, listen to music, do yoga, meditate, and absolutely water will help many of us with that regeneration process and grounding. Some people don't like water. That's fine. Then you give yourself a salt bath or a salt shower, but water will help. Even if you don't like to get yourself wet, the sound of it, waves crashing, a running river, stream, hang in there because it's going to be an emotional roller coaster for a few weeks and beyond for many, okay? And I'm going to leave you with an oracle card before we end. And I do apologize. I haven't been on here in a while. Life has happened. So, Spirit, what does the weekend bring with this lunar eclipse? All right. And this card is the Thinking Woman. Hope you can see that, the Thinking Woman. And it's card number 47. And I drew it upright. So female of wisdom and understanding, and Pisces is a feminine energy. Absolutely. So anytime we draw the Thinking Woman, this card shows a woman holding a book. Let's see if I can get that closer. Holding a book, standing before a staircase, ready to lead you to higher understanding. This woman could be a friend who helps you express and understand your feelings, or she could be a teacher brought into your life at this time to take you in a new direction. This could also be a new love interest, that a woman who is thoughtful, conscious, and aware, or like the Thinking Man, this card could represent a side of yourself that's ready to blossom and bring clarity and assistance to the world. If so, find your voice and let your wisdom shine. So this is about deep wisdom too. I mean, please remember, Pisces is the 12th sign in the zodiac. And when I say it's a terminal sign, that doesn't mean Pisces is, I had a friend come at me and go, does that mean I'm not going to be reincarnated? No, but it is a terminal sign, so it will bring an ending, but endings always have rebirths. There are some Pisces souls that I can tell by their star chart that they are on their last life on this dense physical plane, and they won't reincarnate, but that takes some deep training there to do. But it is what it is. Now, that is your forecast. It is a little short and sweet. Now, I was going to post the musical frequency that I did, but I don't want to post it on here. So if you want to see that, you have to go to Patreon. I believe I made it free for the general public. Go check it out, patreon.com/astro-strega. And you can get all the free stuff you want on there. I give a lot away for free. Yes, there is some that are paid services, but until the website's up, this Patreon is the best bet to get all that information. All of you out there, have a wonderful weekend, and I am wishing you some very blessed full moon eclipse. Get out there and make moon water. Charge those divination tools, and stay as grounded as possible, because this one is going to be rough on the psyche. Okay? Stay sober, and free Palestine. Blessed be.